6:30 on April 11th, 2022. Okay, before we get started, I just wanted to let you all know that I am stepping down as president. Just my life has just got a lot of business going on that I don't feel like I have the time to do what's needed for a president. So I just want to clear that up before rumors start flying around. Okay, so William's taking over.
All right. We will hold a vote for vice president, I guess, later.
We need to hold a vote for you first.
Actually, Darla, explain
I
to it.
think William steps in
Okay.
if the president steps down.
And then we'll just we'll do a vote
Okay.
after this. All right, so if everybody could stand for the pledge. Corman?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jimmy?
Our Heavenly Father, we come before you just one more time this evening. We ask again that you continue to bless this little town. We ask you to continue to lead and guide our thoughts, lead and guide our concerns about this town. And just be with us always as we make the decisions and these council members make the decisions for the future of this town. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Ready for roll call, Sandy?
Pamela Samples. Here. William Ellis.
Here.
Scott Oldham.
Here.
Trevor Sager.
I'm here.
Dan Swafford.
Here.
Darla, when should we hold the vote for vice president? Does it matter?
Any time
Okay.
on the agenda would be fine.
All right, we'll do that right after, right before resolutions then. All right, approval of minutes for the regular meeting, March 28th, 2022, the executive sessions, March 31st, 2022, and April 6th, 2022. A motion?
So moved. Second.
To you, Sandy?
William Ellis.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Action to pay accounts payable, vouchers, and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
Sandy?
William Ellis.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, now, make a motion to add to the agenda, discussion, nomination of vice president of the town council.
Second. I think.
Do we need a motion for that, to discuss it, or just a vote?
I
Carl?
think you can just take nominations and vote on
Okay,
it.
I'll take nominations.
Trevor Sager. Second.
Okay. Sandy?
William Ellis.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thanks, guys.
All right, resolutions, 02-2022, additional appropriations for police and fire departments. Is that you, Jimmy and Mike?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ours are for gasoline. Ours are for an extra car. Sandy? Ours are
Part-time.
part-time to send one of our units to school.
Cameras. The cameras.
Oh, our cameras, yes, our cameras and tasers. Yeah, sorry, thank you.
And mine is basically $13,000 for physicals and $5,000 for fuel, fuel line, and $20,000 into the overtime budget to because of unanticipated expense due to COVID earlier in the year.
Okay, council discussion? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve resolution 02-2022, additional appropriation for police and fire departments.
Second.
Sandy?
Have it.
Okay.
William Ellis.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ordinance on first reading, ordinance 2022-03, to amend the Ellettsville Town Code to increase the rates and charges for water service. You, Mike?
Or I can take
Darla?
that. As the council is aware, the city, Bloomington Utilities increased their water rates, and since the town buys its water from the city, the town had to increase its rates as well. And so that's called, when you piggyback, for lack of a better word, on another utility, that's called a tracking factor. And Baker Tilly petitioned the IURC under what's called a 30-day filing to increase the rates to make them commensurate with what the city of Bloomington was charging or increasing the town's rates. And that 30-day tracking factor was approved. That resulted in, approved by the IURC last week. And so what that means is there's a tracking factor of 85 cents per 1,000 gallons. So what that means for the town's ordinance is that will increase the tap and meter installation charges. It will increase the monthly water usage charges and the minimum monthly charges. It does not affect some of the other things in the town code, such as the municipal hydrant charges, the automatic sprinkler charges, reconnection charges, late payment fees, insufficient funds charges, and the meter deposits. So what you have before you is a new ordinance to adopt those new rates and charges pursuant to the IURC's approval of the rate tracking factor.
I have a question.
Sure.
Does this rate raising, does that just cover what Bloomington's charging us? It's like equal to what Bloomington's charging us?
Yeah, it just
On
makes,
the water rates, yes.
yeah, on the water.
It's penny for penny.
So it's not like any extra that's going to
No,
go
it's,
up?
a
just
no, it's,
whatever Bloomington's charging?
yeah.
No, and that's why you can do it with 30-day filing, as opposed to having somebody like Baker Tilly do a full-on rate study. The IURC or their Indiana code allows for that, so.
There is a substantial increase in the hook-on fees for new starts, buildings, residential buildings. So that amount represents what it costs the town to put it in. So we do not try to make money on the hook-on fee, but we do need to recover our money to keep it from impacting existing customers. So these are the new rates. It's like everything else, all the materials have just went through the roof, if you can get them. And this represents our new labor costs since the last time we made a increase in our hook-on fee, so
But
I
that
guess
just
that's-
affects new people, right?
that just affects new people,
houses
and
or
it
whatever.
is just to recover the cost, so we do not, there's no profit factor in it at all, so.
Any other council comment?
So what will this make the current rate then?
The current rates for the,
The Ellisville water?
well, under the ordinance, under section 51.32, it's got the new rates for the tap and meter installation charges. And then on the second page at the top, it's got monthly water usage charges.
Well, I was kind of asking just so the public could see that. There's no way we can put this up on the, well, I guess. It'd be on the website.
I can give you the rate per 1,000 gallons is going to go from $5.48 to $6.33.
So a monthly bill will be increased by $2.55, and I believe a monthly bill is $18.99.
And Scott brought up a good point. This will be on our website, correct?
I can put it, yeah, if you request that.
Yes.
Okay, so. And it doesn't bleed. Let's get it on the website so the public can look at it and see what the new rates are going to be, and if they have questions, they can come to the next meeting. Also, one other question. When was the last time that Bloomington raised its rates? How long has it been?
I think they did it last year, didn't they? Because I remember I thought I did a tracker, an ordinance last year.
Yeah, that's right, because they did do a two-phased increase, so.
So last year, I think in the summer, Dan.
So you said two-phase, so this was expected to come this
Yeah,
time?
this is the second phase, and
Okay.
we've talked about this plenty of times.
Well, I thought we had, but I was just clarifying it a little bit, so.
Yeah, and it'd been 4 or 5 years prior to that since they raised the rates, if I remember right.
All right, thank you.
Any other council comment? Seeing none. And this is ordinance on the first reading, so no vote tonight. Ordinance on the second reading. Seeing none. Any old business? None there. Flood report, Mike. No report. Okay. Dan, Envision Ellettsville update.
Very briefly, I gave you a hard date last time on our, the date we're going to roll out the Envision Ellettsville plan, and that date wasn't all that hard, I guess, because now I'm giving you a new hard date. It's going to be May 17th from 5 to 7 at the town hall here, where we will roll out we'll have the community celebration and roll out all the information on it. And they're still working on details of how it's going to be, but it's going to be here and inside and outside maybe. But anyway, May 17th, 5 to 7, be there. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, on to new business. Richland Township Trustee, Shelter House for HealthNet, Inc., a nonprofit that provides mobile health care. Who has this?
Carlos, the only one in the know.
All right.
Eric Cook, the attorney for Richland Township Trustees, sent me a letter asking if the town would have any objection to the Richland Township Trustee and HealthNet, Inc. having a mobile healthcare service to serve the folks in Richland Township. And according to Eric's letter, which you have a copy of, the arrangement would provide services through a memorandum of understanding, and the mobile health service would be at the shelter house. And so we haven't worked out all the details yet, but I think Eric believes that it'll be there maybe 3 days a week in the mornings. So not on the weekends, so it's not going to interfere with people having their picnics and parties and all, so.
Can I ask a question?
And that's all I know.
Any restroom usage that would requiring that?
I don't know, I think probably,
I talked to Marty about it, and I told him as long as it's during the day, I didn't see any problem with opening the restaurants, or the restrooms.
I think we need electricity also as well, because we have the power shut off to the, well, no, we're not. They're not open right now because of the Wi-Fi. Smithville's provide, I guess they're still providing Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think they have a mobile unit they actually work out of, and I think they're gonna utilize the parking lot even more than the shelter house, if I understood Marty correctly.
what I told you is all I know, so.
I did get an email from Marty today that the agreement between the trustee and the Fall Festival is expiring, but the town is involved in that too. So we should be getting some paperwork soon on our renewal of, or the Fall Festival's renewal. I'm not sure if it's one or both on that park, because he owns the property and then we lease it from him.
When's our lease up?
That's what I am not sure of. The Fall Festival one is up at the end of last year, so it's expired.
So I don't think the council needs to take any action on this tonight. The point of having it on the agenda was just to give you notice, I guess, that this would be a more formal request coming from the Richland Township trustee, but I will find out about electricity, Wi-Fi, restrooms, and try to nail them down as to how many days a week they want to be there and what times.
Any other council comments?
And we've got a process that he needs to go through with, it starts with.
With the
Serena.
Parks Board?
Yeah, through the Parks Board, yes.
Great. I'll refer them to you then.
All right, final call for council comments on that? Seeing none. We move to privilege of the floor. Anybody want to discuss any items not on the agenda? Going once? Going twice? All right, supervisor comments.
I have nothing.
Thank you for the additional appropriation for the things that we need. We sure appreciate that so much. Thank you.
I'll be more blunt. Thanks for the money. So, I sent an email that was forwarded to me to give to you all from IU Health Lifeline, which is basically the ambulance service that operates out of Monroe County. And they are going to dissolve the contract that we have with them with the running of the backup ambulance. Basically, it come down to we didn't have enough people to train to provide for them, and they didn't have the people to train us. And they are having issues with contract workers, and they're the ones who started the process, and it will not affect the ambulance in Ellettsville. It's still a 24-hour 911 ambulance service, and it's merely the backup ambulance. They intend to put on additional services this summer. So as far as the funding to replace it, Richland Township did increase their contract for this year by $60,000. So it's about $3,000 less, but than what the IU Health would be. But I just wanted to make sure you guys know about that, so if you didn't read your emails or something. So that's of June 30th.
Okay.
That's all I had.
About a week, or the last council meeting, I think I brought to your attention that Bluestone Tree Service that's out here on Maple Grove Road, it's right outside of town, was going to assist us with removing a tree, and they did. It happened Thursday. Jared Oren, the owner of Bluestone, was there. They pretty much really helped the town and the Methodist Church get this tree down at a pretty much free service. And the tree, just a little bit of insight on the tree itself. Jared said the tree was roughly 200 years plus. It was 72 inches across the butt of the tree. So, I mean, it's a little bit older than the town of Ellettsville. So, in the center of the tree, when they took the base of the tree off, it probably had about a foot area in the center of it that was just rotted and started to be doty. So it was dying. So, but they had to hold the tree down probably in a matter of 4, 5, 6 hours, somewhere around there. So it's been done. So that's all
I
I've
saw
got.
him working on there when I went to leave my house. So.
So I'm really appreciative. I've told him I thanked him for the town and as well and everything for helping us out on this. So,
Kevin?
I don't have anything.
Sandy?
I don't really have anything either.
And did you have anything? All right.
Could I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd just like to,
If you want to come up there and
on my Ellisville First United Methodist hat, and I just want to thank everybody who was involved in getting that tree down. We'd worried about it for quite a while. I had mixed feelings. I hate to see a 200-year-old tree cut down, but everything dies. And it was a monster tree, and the church had gotten prices on getting it down. It was astronomical. They wanted to bring a crane in and everything else. So on behalf of the church, I want to thank everybody who was involved in this for doing that, because it was hanging over our parking lot. And people had quit parking in that part of the parking lot quite a while ago. There were limbs coming down. So thank you, everyone.
All right, any council comments on anything?
Actually, I'd just like to thank Pam for serving as president for this year and congratulate the new president.
Thank you. Hopefully I can live up to the faith everybody has in me. If they have faith, I never actually asked, so. All right, any other comments?
I should say that I took the personnel policy issue off the agenda because I just have not had time to check the references and things yet. As soon as I get that done, and then I'll put it back on the agenda.
Okay. We'll go from there. All right, this time I know of no other business to come before the council. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Sandy?
William Ellis?
Yes.
Scott Oldham?
Yep.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Pamela Samples. Motion carries.
My first gavel bang. There we go. Thank you.
I missed it.